I am back, and I'm feeling energized today. I really am. The sun is always out at this time, which makes me feel really good. It is no longer after November. I think November is when daylight savings happens, and it is always the worst time for me because I need sun. I need it. I thrive. I thrive. I thrive from him. Today I had a lovely day. I just got off of work. I think I'm wearing the same thing I wore in like a few videos prior to this. Why are you looking at me like that? My bearded dragon is staring at me with the most quizzical brow. Yes, I have a bearded dragon. Her name is Hachin, from one of my favorite animes, Michiko Hachin, my sister showed me. Excellent anime, takes place in Cuba, and it's just, you just have to watch it. You really do. It's an excellent show, though I really enjoyed it. And the intro. One day I'll show you my beardie, but not today. She doesn't want to be seen. She's giving me the most ugly look. She's literally looking at me like this. Like, come on now. You know you love me. There's a lot of rage in this book that I'm looking back on. Roe v. Wade. When Roe v. Wade was overturned, that was what I was referencing. I wrote something, literally I began this book, this journal with that. It was June 24th, 2022, because I got this book on my birthday. My friends got it for me on June 15th, and this was like a week or two later. So yeah, it started off with a lot of rage, and then you see the emotion shift as I grow. And it's quite nice being able to look back on that. It's really nice to look back on everything that I've written, which is why I highly recommend, I definitely said this in one of my past videos, but if you are holding on to something that you feel like you can't let go, or you feel like you're not in a safe space where you're at, create it within yourself. Admit those things to yourself first, and don't let that voice in your head tell you that you're crazy when you regurgitate all this stuff that is piling inside of you. You be the person that, if you have no one else, that no one else will be for you. Be that safe space. Trust when I tell you, it is so underrated. It's the perfect thing to do if you do not have anyone else, or you feel like you don't have anyone else, or you do have people but they don't necessarily understand where you're at. Right. And keep it hidden. You don't need to share it with everyone else unless you're ready, or until you're ready. I'm definitely excited to share what I've written with the world, because I know there's so many people out there who can benefit from it, from my journey with life. There's a lot of people, we're all in the same boat in a way. Our situations look a little bit different, but they all have one thing in common, and that is either joy or pain. And so it's important to, at some point, I think, share your story with the world, because that's how you become relatable to others and how they see the humanity in you, and it allows you to see the humanity in them, and it just creates this big orb of healing around you. Those who come into your space, and those whose spaces you enter, and those who allow you into their space as well. All that to say, journal. It looks how you want it to look. Just get it out, whatever you're holding inside, because they can't live a life within us. That's kind of like a trapped life. Things should never live in us. They need to go out, just like we do, and spread their wings and be seen and heard in the ways that they can be. I've literally just been flipping these pages, page to page, as I've been talking, all with no direction in mind. The frick was that? Frick that. I'm not doing anything in there anymore because I can't find what I was trying to look for, but we're gonna read something in there another day. Probably in the next video, who knows. Again, this is unscheduled, unplanned. I'm just winging this, really. But I really wanted to, sorry. I was in Scotland. While I was there, it was the second to last, or second or third to last day that I was there, and I was taking myself out to dinner because I love to do that, and it was a lovely time. But there's one thing that I noticed, and it was quite ugly. There was this young couple sitting adjacent to me, or lately, not adjacent, diagonal to me, while I was enjoying my meal, and they kept looking at me, and like several times kept looking back, and it was almost as though they were speaking about me, and like they were laughing at certain points while they were looking back and forth at me. And I was like, first of all, I can see you. I'm literally sitting. You're right there. I can literally look and see you. It didn't bother me at the end of the day because I don't really care. But as a writer, I notice these things, and I always love to write about them, because why not? I'm here to swallow the world and spit it back out on paper. That's my job. I wasn't taking anything personal, but I was really sitting there enjoying my meal and aware of what they were doing. And I was like, let me really just sit here and observe what they're doing. Even though I don't really know what's happening, but it feels like I'm being judged for no reason. Let me write about that experience. Funny enough, in the same night, at the same time, there was another couple, an older couple, who came in and sat down across from them. They were also being very judgmental. They were more overt about it, and it was just very rude. They weren't necessarily paying attention to me, though I was watching them, but they were watching everybody else, and just very loud about the fact that they were judging everyone else. I don't know what they were saying because I wasn't nearby, but they were like pointing and laughing and like snickering under their breaths, and I felt the ugliness. I felt that it wasn't good. And I was like, you are probably in your 50s together, maybe 40s, and you're acting worse than children. I've taught children a blessing. Even then, I've never seen this. You're over here making fun of everybody else who is just trying to enjoy a meal. Why don't you just do the same? Like, do you have nothing better to talk about than someone that is not you? And so they actually frustrated me because now it wasn't about me, it was about others. And that made me even more mad. Though those people probably were in the same boat as me, where I was like, if it's me, I don't really care. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna have this meal. I'm gonna have a great time. Da da da. But like when you see some wrongdoing being placed on another person, it's that fire that just fills you up, and you're like, I can't believe this is happening right now. I've got to say something about it. I didn't say anything about it because, again, those people were still enjoying their meals. They probably didn't even notice. I'm the creep who watches everybody. Yeah, strange moment to have been in, but I feel like I was there for a reason because I got something out of it. I wrote something down, so we're gonna get that now. This is April 5th, 2025, at 10:14 p.m. I was at Miller and Carter in Glasgow. This is it. Do not lock eyes with a judge who's never been to court. They will pick you apart without evidence and sentence you a lifetime in their mind without ever telling you. They'll be your friend, a silent enemy, or someone you call family. They always seem so close until you realize you were the one, to them, seemingly far away. Only enemies seek to close a gap between themselves and their victim. But if I am the one being chased, without an opponent in mind, then who loses in the end? Who truly gets to feed, and who drinks the poison? That end stanza, I guess. If I'm the one being chased by someone that I don't know is an opponent of mine, I'm not in the fight. They are. They're choosing to put themselves in a position of combativeness when I'm not even thinking about that. I was here of my own accord to enjoy my own space, and they decided to invade it. And so at the end, I said, then who loses? Who truly gets to feeding from this, what am I trying to say? I guess I'll just say a line from one of my past poems where I was kind of speaking about this. I said, you brought armor to a fight that I didn't enlist in. That's what the line is, and that's essentially what I'm trying to get at here. Who emerges from this interaction fine and feeling victorious, especially if I'm the victim in this stance and I come out of this? Aren't I the one who will be just fine? Meanwhile, you who have chosen to place yourself in this role of being a perpetrator, when the other person that you're trying to harm isn't even thinking of you, what do you get from it? You get nothing other than poison. You poison yourself in a way. And so I was writing that last line. What the freak was that? I was writing that last line with that in mind. And essentially, that's what I was thinking about at the end of that night. I was like, interesting. I'm encountering this young couple and then this older couple. What a juxtaposition that they're both being judgmental. It was kind of metaphorical in a way, but I'm not sure how yet. I'm still figuring that out. But that's why I wrote this poem, to understand it a bit more and to bring light to it. I thought that was so interesting. Also, another thing that's interesting is that half of my face is illuminated right now. I feel cold here, and then here, all I see is Jesus. I don't even believe in Jesus. Maybe I shouldn't say that. There's gonna be a lot of people who are like, she's dying. She's gonna burn in hell. Ooh. I'm gonna do one more. I was trying to figure out what this shadow is, but this is... that is... I don't even know what to call it. But the thing on your Awala water bottle that locks it in, that's what that is. It's up right now. This is my plant pot. There's nothing in it. It used to have time, but the time died. And now I'm living in eternity. So, I'm gonna read this one, and I'm gonna try and give it a good synopsis. I wrote this at a time where I was really feeling helpless, I think. Not in a way that would have broken me at all. This was recently, this was last year. I wrote this at the end of last year, towards the end. It applies to anyone, but one thing that you all should know about me is ever since I was a child, I've always revered Earth. I've always seen her as this being who has been through so much and thus who is all-knowing and wise. She's witnessed herself through so many phases over and over again. This cycle of renewing that is so ancient and grand and something to learn from for all of us. Something that I look upon and I learn from all the time, and I think everybody could learn from as well. And in that moment while I was writing this, I needed to get that out off my chest. I was feeling lost in a way. I just had to sit with her for a moment. I think I was outside, enjoying her company. I was just like, why am I feeling like this when I'm held by something, the very thing that is felt everything that I'm feeling to a magnified extent. And that wasn't my way of making light of my situation. But it was an important question I had to ask myself at that time. I was really like, why do I feel like this isn't just another version of myself that I'm experiencing at an interesting time? You know, a lot is happening, and a lot has been happening for a really long time, especially in this day and age. Amidst the war and the politics and social media and AI and all of this crap, it was overwhelming me in that moment. We're all just trying to figure out how to grow through it every time. I thought my birdie was like dying for a second. She's fine. And just sitting with her, it constantly is just a reminder of, you're gonna be fine. Look around you. That's what people mean when they say, slow down sometimes and look around you and witness the life that you're in. Not the life that you want, that you're looking for, not the life that was, but look at the life that you're in. Look at the trees. Their leaves are coming back again, and it's April. The trees are still bare, but the leaves are gonna come back again and again and again and again, as they have long before I was born, and as they will long after I'm gone, as they will the same with you. We're all here temporarily. And again, I said I believe in reincarnation. I'll come back. I just don't know how and as what. I don't even know if I'll be here. Who knows? That's the unknown, and I'm okay with that. But I was really just needing to think about that and remind myself of that in that moment. This is okay. I'm fine. This is just a moment in my time. A time that is, there's so much bigger than me. And I should never tell myself that as a way to forget what I'm going through, but as a reminder, this will pass. And I feel like this is kind of getting a little confusing because you don't know what I'm speaking of, but it was basically just a moment. Like, I mean, I already said it. I felt lost. I felt lost. There was, I felt overwhelmed by all the things happening in the world, and my direction was a bit clouded at the moment. But I wrote this, and I hope it can help others as much as it did me at the time. It's untitled, and I began saying, "You're a smart woman. Everything can be done. But you can't do it all by yourself. Call upon me when you feel you may fall. I will lend you strength for the help, and you will prevail, 'cause I command it. My rivers will guide you, my children beside you, 'cause I command it. And if gravity pulls you down, my skies will remind you to reach for them." And that was a moment where I was really just breathing in and out, and breathing her in and out. And that's what she told me at the time. And I really needed that. It's these silent conversations that you hear when you really allow yourself to witness what's outside of you, because it really is also a part of you and a part of your experience as well. I'm living at the same time as she is in this time, even though, again, she'll be here long after I'm gone, but we're amidst each other and alongside each other, and we must be each other's guide once we realize that. We're never alone, even when we feel like it. There's so much in front of us that is teaching us what life is about, in both the beautiful moments and the really tough ones. Like when I was in Scotland, I was learning so much, just being out around people. And there were so many metaphors I was learning. I can't even think about them right now. I have to really look back in my mind and write them down. And one day I'll share them with you all, because I just can't remember the moments exactly. And when I was in Atlanta with my family a few months ago, I was really able to be present. And by being present, I was learning so much. Being with them, being in Atlanta with them, visiting them, enjoying life with them. It's just all of these things. You must think of them as learning experience at all times. You're always learning something, as long as you are able to notice and look in front of you. It's not even looking deep enough, just looking in front of you and witnessing what's going on around you. You will learn something. I think that's all I'm going to share for today. It's already 45 minutes in this video, and again, I don't want it to be super long because attention spans are low. But morale is high, and it always shall be in this corner of the world. Please comment below if you had something to say while I was rambling on and on about all of this mess. Share something with me. Ask me a question. I'll answer it. And give this a like, and if you haven't already, subscribe. It's really chill over here in this corner. You're welcome. Ain't nobody gonna be judged in my space. Remember MySpace? Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that. Anyways, that's that.